An immaterial objective standard of justice requires a theistic God. So when Christopher Hitchens, God rest his soul, says God is not great, how religion poisons everything, he's presupposing God exists in order to make the statement. Why? What does the word poison mean? It's a nice way of saying that religion's evil, right? But where do you get evil unless you have good? And where do you get good unless there's a standard outside of yourself called good? So he's presupposing God in order to argue against him. And this is what atheists do. They borrow from God in order to argue against him. They borrow reason from God in order to argue against him. Why reason? Because if we're just molecules in motion, we're not really reasoning, we're just reacting. They borrow morality from God in order to argue against him and to say, well, God's evil. Well, where are you getting evil from unless you know what good is? So they borrow from God in order to argue against him. In effect, they have to sit in God's lap to slap his face. And by the way, religion does not poison everything. Everything poisons religion. See, I poison religion because I can't live up to the pure words of Christ. And in fact, in the second debate, I said, Christopher, I'm a hypocrite. I can't live up to what Christ said. But that only proves I need a Savior. If I was perfect, I wouldn't need a Savior. We're all hypocrites. In fact, if you're not a hypocrite, your standards are too low. You might want to consider raising your standards up a little bit. And I always say to people when they say, oh, I can't go to church because they got all those hypocrites down there, I always say, come on down, pal, we got room for one more. That's what the church is. It's a hospital for sinners. It's not a country club for saints. All right?